beautiful. Welcome to my show, Thoughts, Action, Success. This week, let's talk about being fabulously healthy. How we feed and treat our bodies is a direct reflection of how we feel about ourselves. Someone who's passionate about her work, is surrounded by people she loves, and is at a solid 10 on the worthiometer is going to treat her body very differently compared to someone who hates her job, feels like the world is against her, is surrounded by unhealthy relationships, and is constantly entertaining those voices in her head. Let me put this out there for you to think about. How you feel about yourself is reflected in every choice you make and every action you take. When I look back now, I see that my food choices always say a lot about my internal state. When I'm not in flow, I seek out quick, easy, cheap, and fast options. They're almost a drug I'm using to give me a quick fix to try and make me feel better. Not only did I not realize the importance of nourishing my body, I didn't believe I was worth anything more than that. I also didn't realize the direct relationship between my mindset and how I was fueling my body. Now, however, I'm conscious of making better choices. I'm very aware that I need to nourish my body as the outcomes speak for themselves. I'm committed to honoring myself enough to take the time to prepare something nourishing with love. I also sit down without distractions, give thanks to my food, and enjoy it. Food is there to be enjoyed and to be fun. Don't take it too seriously and have fun creating in the kitchen, either alone or with your family. And don't let that voice in your head tell you you aren't worthy of fresh, wholesome foods, because you absolutely are, lovely. Before we even get stuck into which foods are actually good for you, I believe it's way more important to look at your relationship with food itself. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Everything outside us is a reflection of our internal state. Nowhere is this truer than in our health and well-being. If you're waging an internal war with the voice in your head against every morsel you eat, you're setting yourself up for some pretty serious health issues. Food can be the enemy when we are desperately unhappy and need something to blame and to control. It's much easier to blame something external than take responsibility and look within. I can relate. There's no way in hell I wanted to be responsible for that. Of course, now I know the truth was that I was the one manifesting everything. But until only recently have I been ready to face the reality and bear that responsibility. When I finally got honest with myself, I realized that whenever I was unhappy or something felt out of control, I would return to sugar, refined carbs, processed food, and other food-like substances. Definitely not made with love, in order to fill that uncomfortable void that I was feeling deep within. I was unhappy and lacking in energy a lot of the time. This realization triggered some big internal changes, but they've been coming about slowly. I decided that the long-term option was to address the emotional stuff first. As I slowly but surely started to be aware of the voice in my head and her crazy little games, I started to make some internal shifts, and my eating habits have started to recalibrate and realign. I started to lean towards high vibrational, wholesome food made with love and care. My body began craving fresh, wholesome, homemade food, and I found pleasure in eating for nourishment and wellness, something I'd only been vaguely aware of before. After starting to eat this way, I've experienced so many other benefits too. Not only is my skin clearer and my hair thicker and healthier, I've also had more stable energy levels than I've ever had before. Without the massive sugar-induced highs and lows, my moods no longer fluctuate and bottom out. This isn't about a diet. It's a way of life for me. I now look at food with more love and appreciation. I use it to nourish my body. I tune in and eat what my body asks for in order to function at optimal levels. And I'm so grateful to have access to delicious, high-quality food from my local farmers market. Now that we have thought about where we're at, it's time to delve deeper and start looking at the underlying beliefs that influence the way we eat. The best way to heal your relationship with food is to start by bringing awareness to your eating habits. There's one simple question that can help you turn everything around. Am I eating out of love or fear? If the answer is love, then keep on going. Enjoy your food, give thanks for it, and be present while enjoying your nourishing meal. But if the answer is fear, stop and ask yourself, what's really going on here? Notice the emotions and voice that is going on inside your head. What is that voice saying to you? Is she judging you? Are you feeling guilty or angry with yourself? Does the voice want to punish you for overeating last night after dinner or for not going to the gym this morning? Now I want you to take a deep belly breath and let all that go. Let's take one more, and on the exhale, let it all out and accept exactly what is right now. No matter how screwed up your eating habits may feel right now, it doesn't mean you have to entertain a tortuous relationship with food forever. That's boring. All we need to do is a little mental reprogramming around food. Let's deliberately and consciously choose to reframe your thoughts with the following affirmation. I easily and willingly choose nourishing, fresh, healthy foods that are grown and prepared with love. I choose to nurture and nourish my beautiful self. If it helps, you could write this on a post-it note and stick it to your bathroom mirror, on the fridge, or set it as a phone reminder for when those 3 p.m. cravings creep up. And next time you go to make less desirable food choices, I'm going to list you and let you try my powerful step-by-step guide to healing your relationship with food and making peace with your meals. Step 1, tune in with yourself. Next time you go to reach for a tub of ice cream or a block of chocolate, ask yourself this: what's really going on here? What emotions am I trying to suppress with food right now? Step 2, notice what emotions and or feelings arise for you and just sit with them. Remember, you are not your emotions or feelings. They are just energy moving around your body and they need to be released. So don't let those voices try to jump in and attach stories to them. Stay very present and breathe. Step 3, allow the emotions to just be there and to unfold however they're supposed to. Try not to interfere and don't let the voice judge them. Allow them to be and feel them fully and completely. Step 4, if you feel called to, journal about how you're feeling. But whatever you do, don't run away with the story. You must stay very present in order to transcend these unresolved feelings. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back time and time again. And you're too busy living your wildest dreams for that to occur. Choose this practice every time you feel the urge to suppress your emotions with a bag of sweets or a packet of biscuits. Keep working on it, and soon it will become habit. Eventually, it will become a natural way of life. But like everything, it takes practice, so be patient and persistent. You're worth the effort, though. You and your body deserve to be loved, nourished, and nurtured. Let's heal our relationship with food once and for all. Now that we've discussed your relationship with food, it's time to take a closer look at the food itself and exactly what is going to help you thrive. There's so much information about food out there. It's enough to do your head in on its own. There's a gazillion diets proclaiming to work miracles. There's loads of confusing and conflicting information about what we should or shouldn't be eating. And the supermarket shelves are packed with fancy products and supplements that will overpromise and underdeliver. No wonder we all get overwhelmed and confused. I'm in no position to tell you what you should or shouldn't eat. I'm very much a work in progress in this area. I firmly believe that nobody knows what you should be eating better than you. All of us have unique lifestyles and nutritional requirements, and there's no one way of eating that suits everyone. I will, however, share with you some of the things that have worked for me along this journey to becoming fabulously healthy. I'm still very much on the journey. I strongly recommend that you play around to figure out what's right for you. Tap into your intuition and listen to your body, as it always knows best. So I'm just going to share with you my food philosophy, and you can take away from it whatever resonates with you. Eat local, fresh, in-season produce. I try to shop at my local farmers market whenever I can. Avoid processed and packaged food as much as possible. Include loads of easy-to-digest vegetables, some low GI fruits like berries, and plenty of enzyme-rich light salad vegetables. Eat the rainbow. I try to get as many different coloured veggies on my plate as possible. Sip water throughout the day and always have water with me. Follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of my plate is veggies and 20% protein. Aim to eat something green with every meal. Greens are your friends as they are incredibly detoxifying and immune boosting. Cook with vitamin love. Yep, L is the most important ingredient you can add. Make sure you're infusing all your food with love. It might sound a little cray-cray, but I always tell my food how grateful I am to have it. I challenge you to give it a go. What have you got to lose? Like everything I share on my show, try the suggestions that resonate with you and see how they make you feel. If something doesn't feel great, then stop. At least you'll know more about your unique body. If it does feel amazing, you just found another secret weapon to add to your wellness kit bag. At all times, I recommend that you seek professional medical advice before you undertake any changes. Whatever your nutritional preferences, please always remember this. It's your birthright to feel well, full of vitality and strong. Don't let those voices use food to sabotage you. You were born to thrive, flourish, and feel fabulously healthy. Now let's talk about cravings. When we are trying to create new eating habits, one of the most common roadblocks we encounter is food cravings, specifically the good old sugar cravings. That hankering for something sweet in the evening after dinner, or the 3 p.m. pick-me-up can be so overwhelming and can potentially derail all your day's good intentions. But understanding why these cravings actually arise can go a long way to helping to ward them off. After much research during my journey, I found there are the 3 most common reasons for sugar cravings. Reason number 1, habit. If you reach for a chocolate bar every day at 3 p.m, your body gets used to it. It's muscle memory. It becomes a habit and it gets ingrained in your brain. Most of the time, if you truly tune in and get super honest with yourself, you'll discover that you don't actually really even feel like one at all. It's just a habit. And those voices in your head are really trying to sabotage you. If this sounds like you, make sure you're aware of your eating patterns and consciously tune in and listen to your body. That's the key to busting out of the habit. And remember, breaking a habit takes commitment and practice. You can't just do it once and expect it to be perfect. You have to work on it every time it pops up. 21 days is often quoted as being the length of time it takes to properly break an old habit or cement a new one. So give it a go for that long and see how you feel. I think you will find yourself pleasantly surprised. Number 2, boredom. How often have you craved sugar when you were totally honest with yourself? You were just good old bored. When you've got nothing to do, it's oh so easy to walk into the kitchen, open the pantry or the fridge, grab the packet of biscuits because why the heck not? In these instances, you're usually not even hungry and most likely just filling an emotional void. Sitting with your feelings is far more constructive than random fridge surfing or pantry prowling. Use the powerful heal your relationship with food technique I mentioned earlier in the show to combat boredom eating. And number 3, dehydration. Lots of cravings are the result of being dehydrated. Next time you feel a hankering for sugar, try having a massive glass of ice cold water first, then reassess your cravings. You'll be pleasantly surprised how often they just simply disappear. Reaching for sugary snacks is never a good option. It's your voice's way of looking for comfort and love. But just like drugs and alcohol, the euphoria melts away and the side effects are terrible. As I have mentioned many times before, when it comes to food, it's super important to tune in with your body. Real cravings are your body speaking to you loud and clear. So make sure you listen up and use them as an opportunity to dive deeper within yourself and not suppress your emotions. Movement is the other key of feeling fabulously healthy. I used to exercise from a place of fear and thought that I had to do boot camps and high intensity exercise to lose weight, and then got so frustrated and burnt out with fatigue and adrenal exhaustion and actually ended up gaining weight, which in turn did nothing for my mental health. Then I discovered that I actually needed to focus on more restorative based exercise, such as walking, yoga, and Pilates, as exercising was yet another opportunity for me to choose love. My body needed exercise that came from a place of love rather than stress, which only elevates my cortisol levels and creates more stress. So now I move my body in loving ways each day. No more pushing, flogging, and trying to get into shape from a place of fear. I love and accept myself unconditionally and move because I love the way it makes me feel, not because I hate my body and want to fix and change it. There's a big difference. Be totally honest with yourself now and ask yourself this. Am I exercising because I freaking love the way it makes me feel? Or am I doing it because I hate the size of my thighs and want them to be smaller? It's important to remember that if you want love to be the default setting on your internal GPS, you have to do everything out of love, even exercise. Remember, consistency is what counts. It's the little things you do each day that add up to big results or big consequences. So you might ask me, but Kirstie, why should I even exercise? I'm going to share my top 10 reasons why I need to move my body. You might find that they resonate with you also. Number 1, it keeps me young, and I believe that it will add years to my life. Exercise keeps you young at a cellular level and helps to ward off the degenerative effects of aging. Research shows that exercise might even trump genes when it comes to staying youthful and healthy. Number 2, it boosts confidence. Even when I'm not seeing results straight away, the mental effect working out has on me boosts my confidence and makes me feel good. And remember this, feeling good is what it's all about. Number 3, it reduces stress and anxiety. Stress wreaks havoc on your body and health. It depletes your immune system and mucks up your hormones. Regular exercise can decrease your overall stress both mentally and physically. Number 4, it boosts creativity. Research shows that regular exercisers fared better on creativity tests than non-exercisers. For me, I often get my best ideas when I'm out walking along the river. Number 5, it improves your sleep. Regular exercise can even make you sleep better. Although I don't recommend exercising just before bed, as it can be a bit too stimulating. Number 6, it gives you more energy. If you are someone who struggles with low energy, you're probably thinking, but Kirstie, how on earth can expending more energy by exercising make me feel better? I'll tell you this, it does. In fact, the rush of endorphins from a good workout session is simply amazing. It can also be a great afternoon pick-me-up. Instead of reaching for that 3 p.m. coffee or chocolate bar, do some exercise instead. Even a simple walk around the office can be beneficial. Number 7, it boosts your immune system and protects against disease. Moving your body can help you feel well and help fight off any nasty bugs and germs. Research shows that people who regularly exercise get fewer colds and flus than those who don't. But however, always be mindful not to overdo it. Overtraining can make you more susceptible to illness. Make sure you're always listening to your body and once again, coming from a place of love. Number 8, it improves your sex life. Exercise increases your cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength, flexibility, and self-confidence. all of which enhance your sex life. It also improves circulation, which can be pretty important when it comes to your sexy time. Number 9, it helps you kick those sugar cravings. Daily exercise helps with the maintaining of a healthy blood sugar level by increasing the cell's sensitivity to insulin and by controlling weight. Pretty sweet bonus indeed. Number 10, it gives you better focus. Regular exercise has been shown to improve mental focus, enhance memory, and decrease the dreaded brain fog. Not too shabby outcomes for simply getting your bum moving, eh? All you need to do is start to reap the benefits. Think of it as an act of self-love. These days, exercise has become a non-negotiable part of my daily routine, but it hasn't always been like that. And I know how tough it can be when you're starting out. So I wanted to share with you some of my favourite ways to fall in love with movement and get the most out of your workouts. Find something you enjoy. Maybe it's boxing, yoga. If you're near the beach, maybe soft sand running, dance, bar, weights, Pilates. Bring out your competitive nature with some competitive sports, walking, swimming, paddleboarding, cycling, whatever. It really doesn't matter what form of movement it is, as long as you're having fun and getting your heart rate up each day. Mix it up. Of course, any exercise is good for you, but your body really likes diversity. It needs to be surprised by doing different activities to keep it guessing and growing. Train with your bestie. Combine your catch-up and your workout. What better way of having a double whammy of goodness? Work out from love, not fear. I used to exercise because I hated what I saw in the mirror. Totally a fear-based way of operating. Now I work out because I love the way it makes me feel. Don't think you need to always be pushing your body to the level of exhaustion. As I found out the hard way, gentle, nurturing movements like walking are great for your body and mind. I now love holistic, whole-body movements like yoga and Pilates. Also, don't discount such things as incidental exercise, like playing with your kids at the park. Utilize the power of music. Create some kick-ass playlists to enhance your workouts. A high-energy one for when you feel like getting your heart pumping, and a softer, gentler one for your walks in nature and yoga sessions. Quit listening to the voice in your head. Know that the voice that says, I can't go any further, or I can't hold a plank pose for 2 minutes, is just the voice talking. Our bodies are amazing and are capable of some amazingly awesome things. So be aware of when that voice tries to tell you otherwise. Given half the chance and the right internal and external environment, our bodies have an innate ability to heal and regenerate, at least of the most common annoying ailments. We have an incredible inbuilt ecosystem that knows how to repair, recover, and rebuild itself. But of course, if we're not treating our bodies with love, those amazing functions don't work at their peak, and we start breaking down and getting sick. Whenever I got sick, I used to be so hard on myself. I would get so angry and resentful towards my body and felt so frustrated that my body was letting me down. A perfect scenario for those voices to take center stage. I was also so fearful of getting glandular fever again and not fully healing that I continued to track that into my life. It wasn't until I reprogrammed my way of thinking that I slowly started to feel vitality and wellness again. Our bodies are always trying to tell us and talk to us. They're constantly giving us gentle reminders to rebalance. When we ignore those gentle nudges for too long, it can manifest as an illness or disease. I used to ignore the signs for days, if not weeks, until I would crash and burn. If only I'd looked after myself when I first felt a niggle, I could have avoided a whole lot of pain, suffering, money, and time. Our job as the proud owners and operators of our amazing bodies we've been given for this time here on earth is to check in with them regularly and respond to their needs. Last week, I was feeling a little under the weather. Nothing serious, but just not as healthy, strong, and vibrant as I usually feel. So I made sure that I took extra special care of myself, increased my B vitamins, Went to bed earlier, focused on restorative exercise, and removed anything from my schedule that I could. Yes, I had loads to do, but in that moment, what I needed most of all was to flex my self love muscle and ask myself this: what is going to serve me right now? The answer was clear: to rest, which was exactly what I did. And within 48 hours, I was back to feeling back to normal again. What I do know is that if I hadn't identified and addressed how I was feeling and made the changes required, I could be still paying the price for the next few weeks. But I listened to what my body needed. It was sending me warning signs. So I took note and changed my course. In a society where we are constantly told to pull your socks up and keep charging forward no matter the cost, I've had to consciously choose to unlearn those attitudes, because it's not the model I want to subscribe to. Next time you feel a niggle, check in with yourself and do whatever you need to rebalance. If you can, take the day off, meditate, have a bath, nourish yourself, whatever you've got to do. You'll thank yourself for it later. Now that you have all the tools to nourish your body from the outside in, let's chat about mental health. And when I say mental health, I'm referring to the voices mind chatter, not serious mental illness. Because you now know that being fabulously healthy isn't just about what you put in your body and how you move, it's about what's going on upstairs in your mindset. Becoming aware of the thoughts in your head is just as important as what you put in your mouth. My belief is that when you're in the present moment, there are no thoughts, just pure presence. You can't be present and thinking at the same time. It's impossible. So ideally, let's be in the here and now. Then there are no thoughts. However, most of us spend way too much upstairs time in thoughts, and voice thoughts at that. So if you're going to have thoughts, let's keep them nice and clean. No more nasty comments that get you stuck in fear town. Deal? Be mindful of other people's thoughts and energy too. Most people will want to dump their baggage on you and bring you down to their level. You know those times when someone's bitching about someone else or speaking or behaving in a manner that makes you kind of feel really uncomfortable? Don't feel like you have to join in to be polite. Remember, that person is simply seeking unity, and it's an opportunity for you to rise up. Instead of being brought to their level, you could change the subject by giving that person authentic compliments such as, "I really like that colour blue on you. It brings out your eyes." It's a great way to disarm the situation that you don't want to be drawn into. Gossip is highly toxic, and every time you say something nasty or negative about someone else, you are diminishing your personal aura and strengthening theirs. Do not engage in any sort of gossip or bitch session. Your voice will try and get you involved, but don't let her. Try these ideas next time you found yourself in the middle of a gossip or situation which makes you feel uncomfortable. Quickly excuse yourself to the bathroom. Change the subject by paying that person an authentic compliment. And if you really want to step up and stand in your truth, simply say something like, "Mary isn't here to defend herself, so I don't think we should be talking about her." Committing to banishing gossip and bitch sessions from your life will create more space for magic and miracles to flow to you. And remember, if you entertain crappy thoughts, you're going to feel crappy. It's that simple. Also remember that the comments or behavior is a direct reflection of the person it's coming from and not yourself, so don't take it on board or participate. Stay true to yourself. Stay in your lane. Let's aim for presence as our first option. Second option is awesome thoughts, if we're going to think. And third option is the voice's nasty thoughts. I know which one I choose. So let's now recap the key takeaways from this Being Fabulously Healthy show. How you treat your body is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. Consciously choose this affirmation: I love and accept myself unconditionally and move my body because I love the way it makes me feel. Choose love because you always get what you fear most. There's always a price to pay when you don't listen to your body. Remember, consistency matters. It's the little things you do each day that add up to big results or big consequences. Presence is key for mental health. I would love for you to join me again next Saturday at 10 a.m. Queensland time for the next edition of Thoughts, Action, Success, where we will look at letting passion pump your pulse. In the meantime, join me in the Thoughts, Action, Success Facebook group for exclusive access to further inspo action from this episode. Have a fantastic rest of the weekend, and we will talk again soon.